I'm creating this video like 3 a.m, so I apologise if I look and sound really tired. Hopefully it doesn't spoil the video in any way. Hey, I'm Dale, I'm 30, I'm from South Wales in the UK, and I just wanted to share my experience with testicular cancer. So about 4 weeks ago, I found a small lump on my left testicle, and worried. I went straight to my GP, my doctor, who advised that it was just a cyst and it's nothing to worry about, which is good. So I was told it'll go away by itself. Yeah, don't worry about it, it'll be fine. And so I did. I went away. About probably a week later, I felt quite a little bit of pain, and so I returned. Went to see my same GP again. He advised me that it's probably epididymitis, which is a inflammation as a result of some sort of infection. So no idea where that could have come from. He said it was really common, but again, nothing to worry about. As long as I take a week's course of antibiotics, of which I did. Fast forward a week later, after completing the course, I remember it was a Sunday and I felt some really significant pain, almost unbearable pain, and so I returned to the doctor again, advised that nothing had changed. And in fact everything's probably got a bit worse. This time I actually saw a different doctor at this point, and he advised that I should get an ultrasound sorted, and also a meeting with a urologist, as this was standard procedure when this sort of thing is found, and he did use the dreaded C word, the cancer word, although suggested that it was not 100% at this point, but it was possible. So I went along to see the urologist shortly after. Had yet another examination, which is really uncomfortable, and not a very pleasant experience. The urologist was actually very stern, and he was very concerned. He noticed that the left testicle was actually significantly smaller. He also advised that the lump that I'd found was actually a cyst, and it was definitely nothing else. And in fact, there was another one there. There was two cysts. Another one had formed. But he was more concerned about not just the size, but I think the firmness. He felt that the top of my left testicle was hard, which is abnormal. And he also noticed that there was quite a lot of pain in my abdomen when my abdomen was pressed, which definitely wasn't normal, and it could be related to the pain that I was having in my testicles, or just the one testicle. The day after, I had an ultrasound scan, another unpleasant examination. The radiologist was again very concerned, and advised that I would need a CT scan immediately because he had found what he seemed to be a mass in the left testicle, and confirmed that it was also significantly small. So I was put through a CT scan, which involved having to wait an hour, to have lots of water, and have dye injected into my arm. It wasn't very nice again. It reminded me of the films you see where someone's suffering from cancer and they have their checkups or scans. It was that I had that kind of feeling, and the C word was slowly sinking in deeper and deeper into my mind. Caused me a lot of anxiety, as you can imagine. I had to wait a few days, it was a weekend, until I received a phone call from the urologist to confirm his findings from the scans. I also received a blood test as well to find out what my tumour marker levels were. That was probably one of the worst weekends of my life. At this point I hadn't even told anyone what was happening. I'd suggested it a little, but I hadn't actually discussed anything properly. So it was Monday morning, and I was sitting in a car park in private, and I had the call to suggest that it was a tumour, definitely a tumour of some sort, and that it was very likely to be cancer. It wasn't confirmed, he was 99% sure, but he advised that he would need to do a biopsy to check. And unfortunately, the only suggested way to have a biopsy performed on a testicle is to actually remove it from the body first. I was advised I would need a orchiectomy, which would mean removing the testicle completely, which was really devastating. Of course, no one wants to lose a testicle. I didn't want to have that inferior feeling, and I didn't want to look aesthetically different. I was also worried that I was going to function differently, but luckily the urologist confirmed that I wouldn't, that everything's going to be exactly the same once everything's over, and losing it. When you lose a testicle, the other one just takes over. There was also the discussion of, well, there was a brief discussion of having a prosthesis, so a fake testicle put in place. But he was a little bit reluctant to chat about it at the time. I was told I'd receive a letter to have the operation, which is coming up now very quickly, and I'm really, really anxious. I'm really worried. I'm a bit scared. I know that technically there's nothing I really need to worry about, and that testicular cancer is actually very curable. Obviously, if this is testicular cancer, which unfortunately very, very likely is. If it's not, great. However, I have just lost the testicle, but something is definitely wrong. And if it's not cancerous or some other sort of tumour, it would still need to be removed from my body completely. So at this point, I'm just waiting for the operation. Once the operation is complete, I'm going to need to be off work for a little bit. There's going to be quite a bit of pain. There's going to be a wound in my abdomen, which will be stitched up. So as you can imagine, it's probably going to be a little bit difficult to get around comfortably, at least. But I'll be fine. That'll heal and the pain will subside. Unfortunately, it doesn't end there. There's going to be a few weeks wait until I have the results of the biopsy, which will involve a meeting with the urologist and some other doctors. So that's going to be another tough waiting time where I'm going to be constantly on edge. But that meeting is probably going to confirm 100% whether it's actually cancer or not, and the type of cancer that it is, which is very likely, as I've been advised, according to my symptoms and the scans, and also my tumour marker levels, which were actually raised. So fingers crossed, everything's going to be okay, and the course of action ahead is not going to be too troublesome. If I do need some sort of treatment, it'll be chemotherapy, which will involve the usual injection of the chemical into my body. It'll probably be an intensive treatment for a bit, which is probably going to ruin me for a while. But I'm not too worried about it. I know it'll get rid of anything that's left inside my body, so that I don't have to worry about it for a while. If that doesn't happen, I'll probably just be put on active surveillance, which will mean regular checkups, regular scans every few months, at least for the next 5 years, and hopefully I'll be tumour free for at least a while. Unfortunately, now I'm at high risk, but that's fine. I know that there's good care out there, and this sort of cancer, tumour, whatever it is, it's all treatable. It's curable, and I don't need to worry about it too much, as long as I listen to the support that I've been given, listen to the doctors, and I think that the most important step I've made is actually going to see my doctor, even though I wasn't given the correct diagnosis at first. It was still important to get that first step sorted, not to be embarrassed about it, not to hide it away, to get it looked at, and then receive the relevant treatment that I need. If I hadn't gone to the doctor earlier, in other words, if I'd gone to the doctor later, perhaps say months to years ahead, the cancer or tumour may have developed further, spread throughout my body, and left me in a much worse state, which would probably involve a lot more long-term treatment. So I would say it's really important to get yourself checked. At least check yourself regularly. Any sort of anomaly that you feel, get it checked straight away. It's likely that it's probably nothing to worry about, but you still need to know what it actually is. So it could be an infection, it could be varicose vein, there's all sorts, there's lots of information online, but your first step is check yourself, go to your doctor if you're not sure, and listen to your doctor's advice. If you're still unsure, or something just doesn't seem right, which is what happened in my case, make sure you keep visiting your doctor, keep them informed, and again, take the relevant steps needed. So I'm going to continue creating some videos, some blog entries, to share my experience, my knowledge, anything that I've found out, any research that may help others, and of course to spread awareness of testicular cancer. So please continue to follow me and the rest of my journey. Thank you.